All right, you got $300 to stock the bar. Between me and you, who can create the better bar?
This guy.
All right, so today me and Zach have $300. We have to stock a bar, 5 bottles minimum, and whoever spends the $300 most effectively stocking the bar ultimately wins. Whoever doesn't is going to take a shot of our beloved mellow corn.
So we're going to be doing the judging between the three of us. So John and I and producer Micah, who is behind the camera.
Yeah.
If you want to leave a comment down below, let us know who you think had the better list.
Yeah, and
maybe
if you guys,
we'll run this video back in a couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, and if you guys have $300, like how would you spend it? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah.
So sort of the parameters of how we're doing this. Got to have at least 5 bottles.
5 bottles.
Cannot go over $300. Has to be readily available.
And when we say readily available, this is stuff that we found through the Virginia ABC.
Yeah, so
and it has to be a 750.
Yeah, so 750 ABC, or we did say like, hey, if you go online and readily get it in your market, I'm cool with it. But we're gonna spice it up. Okay. So why don't we jump into it?
Let's start with the cheapest bottle you have on your list. Which one is
the cheapest bottle I have on my list?
The cheapest one you have on your bottle you got.
Wild Turkey 101.
God. Dummy.
God. So, for my first bottle, cheapest bottle, gotta go with Wild Turkey 101. And I'm gonna tell you why. One of the best, cheapest bourbons out there. We're talking, what, $27? Yours too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we'll agree on anything else besides this one.
Yeah.
But we both just love it. It's so vanilla forward. I mean, what's there not to like about it?
All the good classic bourbon flavors. It's cheap. It's gonna hold up well in a cocktail if you want to mix it. It's also not gonna, hurt if you put it in a cocktail because it's $27. So,
a couple videos ago, you said this is the Swiss Army knife of bourbon.
Yeah.
So true.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go second most. Or second cheapest.
What is your second cheapest?
Okay, this, I'm only apart by $1 on this one, but it is Sazerac Rye.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. For $30, you're getting a really nice rye. You're getting a really nice mixer for a lot of mixed drinks, Manhattans, that kind of stuff. We're just talking about stocking a bar. I want a good mixer and I want a good rye, but I don't want to feel bad about doing it. But for $30, I don't think you can really beat that rye. So that is why that is my second cheapest bottle on my $300 collection so far.
Okay. All right. My next pick is going to be a little Eagle Rare. So this is a good sort of like, we'll say higher end intro into bourbon. If you're starting a bar, this is something that you will find in most bars for bourbon drinkers.
Sure.
Because it's so easily approachable. For a 10-year-old bourbon coming in at like $38, it really doesn't get a whole lot better than that. That's an impressive age statement on a $38 bottle.
Now, it is a little hard to find.
A little bit.
But you're saying it's worth putting in a little extra time to find that bottle.
Yeah. So what I would say is with this being harder to find, here in Virginia we have this drop system that's a real pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But if you're able to get out and do a little bit of hunting,
There'll be an Eagle Rare there.
You'll come across one. Yeah.
Okay. I dig it. So, third.
All right.
Cheapest bottle. I think everybody in a $300 bar, you need 1792 somewhere in your lineup.
This is where you lost.
And I'm going to tell you.
I got him.
I'm going to tell you. First off, this is the Costco bourbon.
Costco bourbon?
No. They literally produce for Costco. Like the whole rumor is Costco's bourbon is 1792. So everybody likes Costco, right? Would Costco put out an inferior product? Heck no. So you already know you're starting with the best of the best. And the fact that this is 80 proof, incredibly, you can drink this on the rocks. You can mix. You can do anything. $300, spend it here.
On 1792.
Costco. Costco bourbon.
All right.
Everybody loves Costco.
All right. 1910. So what we're trying to do is expand that bar cart a little bit. So you start with a good general bourbon that's good for mixing, sipping on neat, whatever. A little bit of a higher end pour with a nice decent age statement. Then you go to essentially what is a double oaked bourbon, right? So this is something that's going to be a little bit on the sweeter side. Proof is going to be around 93, so it's not super heavy. Mm-mm. Real sweet, easy to sip on. A lot of like marshmallowy notes on it for me. This is just a good sort of, sweet sort of cocktail sipper if that's something you're looking for.
Okay. So going to our fourth at this point. I am going to jump dramatically from that $30 price point at this point.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. And I think I only have to give you 2 reasons why. Proof point, we're coming in at, 127 on this bottle. Mm-hmm. You need something at a higher proof now because ultimately you have, your go-to, you have your 80 proof. Now you need a high proof. That way you can start expanding your palate. But the second reason, and all I have to say is farther than bourbon. You don't get that title without being the father of all bourbons. That's going to be a tough one to beat.
That's fine because I got you beat. You ready for this one?
Let's see it.
We're jumping, right? We're going all the way up to $60. Oh no. We're going Wild Turkey Rare Breed Rye.
Okay.
Here's why. Right? Higher proof rye. It's going to hold up really well in cocktails. This is also something you can sip neat. As far as ryes go, they really don't get any better than this. And I would prefer to spend, this is a $60 bottle. I would prefer to spend a little bit more on a good rye that is a little bit harder to find, that is going to be more versatile and usable and stuff.
So you're just assuming that for $300 that everyone's going to be into a really high proof rye.
Not my assumption, but my recommendation is to spend a little bit more on a high proof rye. What's your last one?
All right, so I'm going to bend the rules a smidge here. This is something that should be readily available.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And because this certain company decides to make it hard and do a lot of things, and they try to hold stuff back, and they make us all, go crazy for this product, I'm going to go off secondary pricing for this one.
Okay.
I'm going to be fair about it because you can buy it half as cheap. But so far we've spent what? 30, 60, 90 plus that. We've spent what? Like $150? Yeah. Out of the 300.
Okay.
We spent more. Hold on. I'm going to tell you right now. All right, Elijah Craig was 70 plus 30 is 110.
What's 100?
100. Oh. 70, 30, so that's 100. 130, 160. We spent $160. Mm-hmm. I think now is the time not to spend any more money until you come across this bottle. And if you have to pay $100 for it, I'm okay with it. In fact, if you got to go to $110, and I'm going to tell you why. Everybody should have in an entry-level bar a bottle of Blanton's. Here's what I've just accomplished.
Okay.
You walk into this bar. I don't know nothing about bourbon, but I know that Blanton's is supposed to be really good. So now I can take you and educate you about how these different bourbons complete the perfect bar. I have probably the best bottle under 30, like you. I have my mixer that we do cocktails if that's the kind of night we're having. I have my 80 proof to help, like if my wife was going to drink anything, we're going 80 proof, we're starting slow. I got my high proof, that way I can expand my palate. And I have Blanton's. I have the bottle, I have the wow factor, and I'm under $300. In fact, I'm coming in at what, $250? If I'm going off 100?
$260.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm $40 under what I was allowed to spend. And I think I have a pretty nice setup.
I thought for sure when you were talking about bending the rules, that was going to be a Weller at the end there. Like I thought for sure, because that would have made it harder for me to make this argument.
So
because you forgot a big one.
I don't think it's fair to throw Weller in here because what you're going to pay on the secondary market is just
true.
You're getting marked up big time, man.
But you could have picked up like Special Reserve.
I think Blanton's is better than Special Reserve.
I would agree
because it's a single barrel.
I definitely agree.
And you know what? I missed the whole point. I have a single barrel in my lineup.
You sure do. Sure do.
You don't have a single barrel yet, buddy.
I don't, but my list is gonna have something yours doesn't have.
We betting rules?
We're not betting rules. Not anymore, anyway. We're going with a weeder. So now, what you have to round out your 300 and under bar cart is a good general mixer, a nice high age statement bourbon, a nice sweet bourbon, a good rye, and a wheated bourbon that's barrel proof.
So we both have the barrel proof. We both have the rye, just in different categories. We both agree on the Wild Turkey. I think the biggest difference between me and your markup is like my first 4 bottles, anybody in the world can buy. You only have 2. I'll give you 3. Your Eagle Rare and your Wild Turkey Rye, they're hard to find. They're hard to find.
So is Blanton's and your Elijah Craig barrel proof.
No, that's just as easy to find though as the Larceny.
No, it's not. When you go on the ABC's website, can you find a store with one that has it?
With both, probably.
With the barrel proof?
Yeah.
Do it right now. I couldn't find one when I checked a minute ago.
Really?
Really.
All right, so
Not a barrel proof.
I hate to say it, I like my lineup better.
All right. So it's coming down to producer Micah.
So I'm gonna give you both 60 seconds. Let me get my stopwatch here. I'm gonna give you 60 seconds each to defend your lineup with closing arguments. And John,
boy. We're
will
getting
start.
lawyered right now.
All right, and go.
All right, Your Honor, I have my Swiss Army knife, Wild Turkey 101. I can use it in anything. Also really good just to drink neat. Proof 101, great bourbon. It could be a bottled and bond, right? But it's 1 proof higher. Sazerac, great mixer. I can make all your holiday drinks. I can make a really good party drink. I can do anything with this bourbon because I have the rye that we need for that. Costco bourbon is good enough for Costco. I promise you it's good enough for your bar. I don't have to say anything less about that. But it's also the lowest proof at 80 proof, so I have that in play. Elijah Craig barrel proof. I have one of the hottest bourbons out of the whole lineup. Because it goes from batch A to B, at least you can experience the difference in the notes. This is really going to help grow your palate. And then lastly, everybody needs a statement bottle in your collection. That's why we do this. We do this because we want a statement bottle. Blanton's is your statement bottle, so when people walk in, they know what they have.
56 seconds. And let me just ask, how are you going to defend the fact that Blanton's may not be readily available?
5 seconds?
Yeah.
5 seconds.
You can. I'll give you a little bit more time.
Okay. I'll do it in 5 seconds. It's worth saving on to the $100 until you find the bottle. It's worth holding on to until you have it because you need a wow factor in your bar. You need a bottle that is hard to get. That's why we do this.
All right. Zach.
Oh. And what was the first bourbon that you bought that was allocated? What was your first?
My first?
Uh-huh.
That Booker's.
Okay. Your very first bottle you've ever bought.
That Booker's.
Okay, mine was Blanton's. Mine was Blanton's.
That was the first one I had. I was like on those emails, right? And I like hauled ass. I got a little freaking grenade, but yeah.
Because you really wanted one.
That was back in the day when we didn't know what they had.
Hey, my point.
Yeah.
Entry-level bar, babe.
All right, Zach.
You ready?
Your 60 seconds starts now.
I was going to put you to sleep.
Doesn't really need a whole lot of explanation. Wild Turkey 101, probably the best value in bourbon you can buy. This is my statement bottle. So Blanton's has all of this hype because it's got the collectible tops and stuff. There's no age statement on it. You don't know what you're actually getting. With this, you're getting a 10-year bourbon that's coming in at half the cost of that at retail. A sweeter one to round out that bar cart. What this is going to do is give you some more options for cocktails and a different experience for people that are coming over. You've got a high proof rye that's going to stand up a whole lot better in cocktails than the Sazerac. This also has a lot more of those like sort of minty notes on it for me. And to round it out, a wheated bourbon coming in with a barrel proof finish. You really can't beat it. You cover the whole list here.
All right. So I think both of you stayed very true to your brand Zach, you gave us a lot of variety. You gave us a lot of different bottles to choose from. John, you stuck with your 1792 boys. You love your Blandons. I'm having a hard time with the Blandons fitting into this category. I understand the purpose.
Yep.
I'll say this: if Blanton's fits because this fits as well.
Okay, if Zach's gonna support it, I'm gonna give the nod to John.
Son of a bitch.
You did yourself on that one. Well,
I had to because this you can't find this.
It's a little challenging.
This is just not at the store right now. Yeah.
So that being said, you got to do the punishment.
I gotta drink that shit.
You got to drink the Miller Lite piss water that Mellow Corn. And I'm sorry if you like Mellow Corn.
John hates you if you like mellow corn.
Hate's a strong word, but there's better stuff I can spend your money on.
This smells sweet.
Yeah, but it goes down sweet too.
Fuck it, whatever.
Oh, that face said it all.
It's like you're chewing on grass.
Well, you enjoy chewing on that grass. Hey, if you made it this far, we really appreciate it. If you could like and subscribe, guys, let us keep having fun together.
Let us know which of us had the better lineup, because I still think mine's better.
Yeah, in fact, I'll tell you this. I'll double down. If more people agree with your lineup than mine, I will take this shot, and we'll close it. Let's say
you take a 2-ounce shot.
Okay, I'll take a 2-ounce shot over the course of a month. We'll give the video a month to run. However, more people agree that my setup's still better. You're going back with another shot. 1 ounce.
Yeah, I think you lost everybody on the small batch. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Thanks for making it this far.
See ya.
Tater Nation out.
God bless.